Hi guys, welcome back to PBTV, and we have another Vorsk video for you today. We have the new series of the VMP2. So the VMP1's been out for a long time, as is the VMP2, the longer version. So this is the second iteration of the VMP2 series, which is like that sort of hybrid 9mm rifle sort of setup that they've gone for. There's 3 new variants, each one there's different colour options as well, so we've brought a selection out. The 3 models that we're going to talk about today are the VMP2C, which is the short one, the VMP2SD, mainly because of this bit at the end, and the VMP2D, which is this one. There's some minor sort of feature differences between them. Obviously, there's different mags and stuff. So we're going to go through each one sort of tip to butt, just have a little chat. But obviously, internally, these ones are all the same. With the original VMP2s, the longer ones, some of them were semi-auto, some of them had select fire. On these new 3 models, they all have select fire. So internally, they are identical. So I am going to start with the suppressed version, which is the VMP2SD, which is this one. So what we have here is a fold-out stock that you just simply push up, rotate round. One thing that we have noticed straight away is if you notice, if you're not pushing up on here, as you can see here where it connects, there isn't actually a chamfer. So if you do sort of whip this out too hard, it will lock up. You might damage your connection here or anything like that. So make sure it is pushed up, locks in, and comes down. What they have got rid of on this one especially is there is no 90-degree lock anymore as well. So what used to happen, it used to lock around here with the VMP2. Now it just goes all the way around and locks in. So make sure you are unlocking this thing correctly so you don't cause any damage to the stock. So now this thing is out in its full form. So this is the integrally suppressed version. So as you can see on the front, we have got a can on the front, and it comes all the way down into the rail system here. So underneath that, there is a 14mm thread, but it is all the way down here. So if you are wanting to swap this out, you will need a can that is the same size, or a barrel extender if you're wanting to put something on the end of it. What we will notice, and we have noted when we're doing the descriptions of these, it is an M-LOK rail system. You can see there's M-LOK on the right, left, and bottom, but with the suppressor installed, it just goes flush, so you actually can't get any M-LOK parts in there. So if you are wanting to mount accessories that M-LOK, you will have to either swap the suppressor out for a barrel and put something else on it, like a muzzle brake or anything like that, or take the suppressor off, put a barrel extender in, and then put the suppressor back on. So just by the by, it is sort of an aesthetic look currently, but you can mount M-LOK parts to this if you slightly change the front end. So if you like this sort of design as it is, you are slightly limited with accessories on the front. So we've got Riz on the top, but if you're wanting to fit the M-LOK, it's a little bit of a different ball game. With the 2 long ones, not the C, but the 2 longer versions of this batch, the rails are polymer. So we do have a polymer square rail at the front here that does have standard Riz on the top. Fibre front sights, so we've got a single fibre at the front and a twin fibre at the back, making it a nice, easy, clean triple dot system, so you can get a really good sight pitch. Even in the dark, you don't need much light for these to pick up and be reasonably bright, even in low light situations. Coming back, we do have the sort of split receiver where we've got the metal upper and the polymer lower. You will see on the top, just here, this is your hop wheel. So there is an up and an arrow, so rotating this thing clockwise increases hop. Anti-clockwise, you can hear it just clicking. That is removing hop. So it is a TDC hop system. Really, really good for sort of slightly heavier than your standard BBs. And it is not going to adjust at all in gameplay. There's no way BBs going through this are going to adjust that wheel. Whereas with gears and sort of slidey hops that are in some other platforms, they have an inherent tendency to maybe sort of unwind as you're playing. As you see on the right-hand side here, we do have the bolt handle. It does unscrew, and they do come separately in the box. So when you look at this thing and it doesn't have a bolt handle on it, just look in your box and you'll find that. It can be swapped to the other side. Simply unscrew and put it in there. Controls, we do have bolt releases on the right-hand side and the left-hand side when you get hold open. Fire selector, we've got in there. In the center here is safe. It locks the trigger out. Flicking the switch down and the pointer up goes to semi. all the way to the bottom is full auto. As I've said, with this new range, they are all select fire. We do then have sort of a multifaceted mag release, so pushing the almost like SMG5 MP5 style release, or you can do it with your thumb, releases the mag, or it does have the M4 on the left-hand side, so you can press that as well. The trigger is a flat-bladed trigger. It is really, really comfortable. I've run the original VMP2, the longer version, in a game, and I did really like the trigger, but the grips are slightly different on this one. I kind of prefer what's on the other long ones in the original sort of 1911 style grip, but some people prefer these sort of more squared-off pistol grips. Again, it's a gas blowback system, so any gas blowback grips can just go on this. There is just a bolt in there, so you can swap it out to what you want. We've got a plethora of QD sling points as well. So we've got 2 on the body, 1 on the right, 1 on the left side there that we'll just click in, and we've got them on the stock as well. So you can single point, 2-point it, loose sling this. It's very, very versatile when it comes to that. Obviously, we've talked about the folding stock. With this one, there is no twist on the end. The original VMP2 had the rotating stock. This is a solid metal stock, but if we pop this one away and bring the VMP2S out, this one has the original VMP2 stock. As I've said before, make sure you do push it up and lock it in place correctly. This one does have the rotating stock, so if you're wanting to do some of that work round corners and keep it in your shoulder, that is an option there. So one of the other models that we have here, again, looking at the front, we've got that polymer front rail, M-lock, right, left, and bottom, and we do have the sort of lugged flash hider that's on the front of this thing. So if you already have maybe a VMP1X or like that, and you've already got the suppressor that goes on it, it will click straight on here as well, so you don't need to get an extra one. With this one, it is just a standard barrel in there, so the M-lock features on this rail do function as you'd expect, and you don't need to do any modding or like that. Riz on the top, as we've said before, we've got that TDC hop, and we do have the same controls and the 45 round magazine that comes exactly the same with the suppressed version. As what I was on about before, the grip, we do have a 1911 style grip on this one. Same as the original VMP2s when they came out. This is what was on there originally. I'm preferring this one. When I first saw these IWA, I thought it looked a bit weird, but holding them, very, very comfortable. So after gaming with it and shooting on the range, I'm preferring the 1911 style grip rather than the sort of boxed off one that's on these other 2 models. But yeah, apart from that, identical. We can swap the bolt over. All the controls are the same. It's got select fire. The main differences are the slight difference in the stock, with it being the wobbly stock, the 1911 grip, and the front end allowing the VMP specific suppressor being clicked on there, that if you watch some previous videos, you can put traces inside it and mount things inside it. And again, it is reasonably QD, so if you wanted to click it on and off, that is totally fine. Coming on to what is potentially my favourite one, and we saw at IWA, it was extremely popular, is the C variant. So we've brought a couple of the colours out. So you've seen the black ones, and we do have the tan and the grey models here. So all of them are available, and you can get whichever colour you want. So with the C, this little compact monster in its state right now is a smidge over 36 centimetres. So I think pretty much the same size as like a Desert Eagle or something like that, maybe a little bit longer, but this thing is extremely compact, reminiscent of like TEC9's old drive-by platforms, things like that. It is a chunk of a beast as well, because as I've said with the previous ones, they had the polymer rails and things like that. This is a metal front end that we have here, so there is a chunk of weight there. Again, you're not running the long mags or rope, but this thing is sort of, it's around that 1.9 kilos. It is obviously lighter than the other 2. They're around 2.1, but this thing sitting almost at 2 kilos, you know about it when it's in your hand. But I can see this thing being very similar to like a Mach 11 or any other sort of like very sort of high rate of fire compact SMG and sitting side by side with a bolt action, or if you've got one of the original VMP2s or something like that, this can be your panic button backup. And even then, if your primary goes dry, this can run and gun by itself and be a very capable beast. So as we've said before, at the front end, all these have similar features. So on this one, we have a 14mm counterclockwise thread. Inside, they all have 6.03 Type bore barrels. On the C, it is a 97mm long barrel, so it is a really, really short, pretty much pistol length. The other two have 230, so you're going to get a bit more accuracy and range out of them. But when it comes to most pistols and things like that, you're not really going to notice an overall massive difference on something that is this tiny and going to be an absolute shredder in CQB. We do have the same interface at the back as well. We've got the 1913, the RIS section at the back. It does not come with a stock, gives you free reign to pick whichever one you want. So if you're wanting something like a Kate Moss or a SIG, or you could even throw the G&G lever back end on it if you want something crazy. Anything you want, strike systems, however you want to mount this at the back, or you can just simply put a QD sling on it and just have this dangle in its form as is. So really enjoying these things. I love the colour options. I think I'm leaning towards the C when it comes to maybe throwing a stock on this. Probably put a trace unit or something on it. We have gone through the sort of ergonomics of how you could easily put a tracer on this. It's not overly straightforward. It does have the same lugged flash hider on the front that you've seen on the VMPs and the other models that we've got here, but trying to get this thing off, it does have grub screws in it. Trying to get an Allen key in them grub screws through these holes isn't sort of, if you're lucky and it lines up, yeah, that's fine. You are normally going to have to take the rail off to then take the flash hider off, put the rail back on, and then screw it back on without the grub screws in it, or just put your tracer unit on it and leave it like that. Any of the small ones like the Ace Tech, the Raiders, the Wardens, things like that, they fit on there really, really comfortably and look absolutely mint as well. Anything that sort of matches this spherical sort of chunky front end and sort of almost like muzzle sort of pug style angry looking front end looks really, really good. And again, you've still got that TDC, you've got a Type bore. I'm really looking forward to throwing some rounds down range with this. Again, looking at the TAM one, we have mounted the charging handle to this one. It is an oversized one, so you can get hold of that really, really fast. And again, you can swap it to the left-hand side if you want. Really looking forward to these. They've got all the features that you'd want from a compact along. They work in every single sort of platform with the Type bore barrel. 40mm threads gives you all the options that you want. You've got RIS. You can put any optic and system that you want on this. Swap any stock out. You can change your grips if you want. So an extremely versatile platform, and we're looking forward to getting on the range. So if you want to join me upstairs, we are going to put some rounds through these just so you can see these things firing. We do have the 20 round mags in the VMP2Cs, and we've got the 45 rounds in the long boys. So join me upstairs in a minute and we'll show you these things as they're meant to be seen. Join me in a minute. So we've made it out to the range, guys. We've set up the VMP2D, showing that you can fit the VMP suppressor. Just it clicks straight on this. So if you do have VMP1X or you've got one of these already, click it straight on, and I think that looks absolutely awesome just in a setup. Little optic, and you can run and gun this really, really easily. So obviously, as we're on about with the selector pointing upwards, so you have to push the selector down for it to go into semi-auto. And what we were finding is if you do rest this on your rig on a sling, it can then click on the other side and go back to safe. So it's quite a good habit. If you're not actually finger on the trigger, keep your finger on that selector, and then you'll stay on semi. But aiming down range, we're going to do a little bit of semi-auto. And then flicking it all the way to full, trying some little bursts, aiming for that close cam. So yeah, this thing can work in both settings. So again, that semi-auto is really snappy with that short bolt pull. So I think these are going to be a lot of fun. Quite comfortable, CQB and outdoors. The can might make it a little bit long for some people. But if you do want something really short, we have set up the C. So again, you could get a stock for it, you could change the front end and just run this as it is as a sniper backup. A little bit of a panic button maybe, leave it as it is. A couple of sling points there, you could have this concealed, slung under your rig, and then if someone comes too close, you've got a nice simple go away button, they're gone, and then you can go back to your primary and do what snipers do and get people at range. So join us back inside. We'll have a little debrief and talk about our thoughts on the VMP2. So guys, that is the VMP2 in all its glory. All the models are now here. You've got 6 to choose from. These are the 3 new ones that we've looked at today. But as you can see, there is a option for each sort of role that you want to play. With the previous models, you've got the DMR options in this. And then in these, you've got a definite CQB candidate with this if you wanted to trick it up. We were just talking about putting a stock on this and a tracer unit in there, just making it a little snub-nosed machine. Maybe even keeping it to the 20 rounds, just so it is that really nice compact thing, trying to cut through corridors and walls, keeps it a very neat, compact unit. Again, there's the suppressed version and the standard carbine that we could put the VMP suppressor on that looks incredible. As we've seen out there, obviously with the very short barrels, you are pretty much locked in at that short range engagements, but they are a lot of fun to fire. Let us know which ones you're sort of leaning towards, whether or not it is the C or one of the other 2 that we've looked at today, and if you're going to add one to your armory. But if that is everything for today, thank you very much for watching as always, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.